Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So we're having sound challenges still, like I said, but so did you get the email that I sent you with some of the documents for our estimate today?
I did not, but if you want me to go in my email, I can check on that.
While we're talking, if you can still hear me, that would be great. I
Okay.
did send them a little short notice, and some of the documents that we're going to go over today will help us put everything together. Now, I want you to know that just because we're doing this virtually doesn't mean that I'm changing any part of our process that we would normally follow. So I just want you to know that some of the documents that I sent you may seem to be like a lot to read, but I just want you to know that that's you don't even necessarily have to read them if you don't want to. I just always included them with every estimate that I had done for every customer, so I wanted you to have them.
Okay.
Let me know if you did get the email just so I can confirm.
Yep, I got the email and I'm looking at all the documents in it right now.
Okay, terrific. So you're looking at the documents right now. I am going to run through. You know what we'll do is we'll just ask. We'll start the process that I normally would have started, and then we can just go from there. But so on a normal estimate, if I would have came into your home, I would have put the blue shoe protectors on to make sure we didn't bring any dirt or debris into your home. And in times like today, we also would have worn our rubber gloves. And upon your request, we would have worn a mask. One of the documents I sent you today would have given you three options for this estimate. We did want to go forward with just doing all virtual, but just like we agreed upon, I did stop by your house earlier today, and I measured the outside of your house so I could determine its square footage. And I also took a couple pictures of the outdoor air conditioner, recorded some information, and some of the other things that are related to heating and air conditioning that are on the outside of your house. Have you ever, when your furnace is on, have you ever seen smoke coming out of your exhaust pipes on the outside of the house?
Sure.
Okay, well, I did take pictures of those because we want to make sure that they're installed properly. And so I have a couple questions for you, and I want you to know that these questions are the same questions that I ask every homeowner.
Mm-hmm.
And what they do is they help me get familiar with you in the home, and they're going to help me determine what I might need to identify to look at.
Okay.
So the first question I have is, how did you hear about us?
On Facebook. Somebody on Facebook recommended you guys.
Awesome. And when you had called to set this estimate up, did the person on the phone accommodate all of your requests?
Yeah, they did.
And our scheduled time was okay? We were available when you were available?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay, terrific. So how long have you lived in your home for?
I think about 6 years, 7 years.
All right. And just curious, do you know how old the home is?
2005.
2005. All right, so about 15 years old. And is your furnace and air conditioner the original that's in the house, or has it been replaced already?
It's been replaced.
It's been replaced once, okay. And do you believe that your current system is doing what you expected of it?
Yeah, I do.
So I have a couple questions regarding that. You know, a lot of people in today's world like to consider Wi-Fi controls. And is Wi-Fi something that would interest you or no?
Yeah, I think it would.
It would? Okay.
Mhm.
Well, that's great. I'll make some notes of that. So next question is, how many thermostats do you have in your house?
Ooh, great question. One, two, I think we have four. One on the basement, one on the main level, and then one that controls the upstairs bedrooms, and then one that controls the upstairs bonus room.
Okay, that's terrific. So you have what's called a zone system if you have that many thermostats, which is one of the things that we'll get into a little bit later in our interview. So I have a couple more questions. So
Okay.
I asked if the system did what you expected of it. So I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. Do you think that the system filtered the air as good as you'd like for your family and you?
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, we currently have a pure air. So I think that works good.
Okay. And just curious, does anybody in the family suffer from allergies or asthma or hay fever or anything like that?
James, my youngest son, suffers from allergies for 1 month, basically starting right now every year.
Okay. So this is a unique question, but how long do you and your family think you're going to live in the home for?
I would say probably the next couple years. We're always kind of keeping our options open, but we have no definite plans to for
Okay.
sure soon.
So would, if I had to guess, would you said a couple of years? Would I, if I said 3 to 5 years, would that be okay to say?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a couple things I want to cover that I think are some of the most important things with a purchase like this. So I want to let you know that we do sell Lennox products. I have the most faith in Lennox because Lennox is the manufacturer and the distributor. For a long time, my family had sold Carrier, and we ran into a lot of warranty concerns and a lot of statements that Carrier would make. They would say, we're not obligated to that product anymore. And there were a lot of situations that caused the company to lose money, but Carrier wasn't stepping up to the plate, if that makes sense. So we partnered with Lennox, and Lennox has always taken care of us and our customers. They always do what's ever necessary to take care of our customers, and that's the most important thing to me. I've actually, in the past, heard other companies say that you can't get a part for a Lennox, or you can't get a hold of anybody at Lennox. But the truth is that if you have a valid contractor's license and you're in good standing terms, meaning that you pay your bills, you don't have any problems. So I just want you to know that. If there was anything like that that was a concern, I'd be more than happy to help you with it.
Okay.
I want to cover price of our jobs. You know, a lot of people say to me, Bill, I want the cheapest price. And, you know, I want you to know that we are very aggressive in our pricing. And I helped set it. And one of the biggest things is that I'm a technician. And technically speaking, in my head, it's very important to me to have things that I know are technically matches and that everything works properly. A lot of other companies I'm seeing where the people aren't very technical is things that are getting installed, and unbeknownst to the customer, they weren't matches or they weren't designed to work together necessarily. So I just want to make sure you know that I'm going to give you the best price, but because there are certain things I'm going to build into the price that are best for you, the family, and the system, that I won't have the cheapest price. So I just wanted to let you know that.
Okay.
The next thing is that a lot of customers have worked with companies, and written guarantees were something that were very important to the customer. And so when we're done today, I'm going to make sure that I send you our 2-year guarantee, which means that at any time in the first 2 years you have our system, if you're not satisfied, if you give me the unlimited attempts to rectify the problem, I'll make sure that we refund you for the system and remove it. So that's our 2-year guarantee. I'm also going to send you a couple other things that I think are really important as far as the guarantees and warranties. So I just want you to know that we'll cover that.
Okay.
Value is something that's, I think, really important to this job too. I mentioned that we wouldn't have the cheapest price. And some of the things that we're doing, wearing booties and gloves and masks and protecting your home, in addition to having a fabrication truck come to your home. This fabrication truck has all of the necessary brakes and machines to fabricate at your house, which means that if something was fabricated not at your house and in a shop somewhere and it didn't fit, some companies would make it fit, whereas we would remake it to make it right and be the best it can possibly be. So,
Okay.
And the last thing I want you to know is that we do offer financing. We have some 0% interest programs. We have financing up to 10 years. I'd even offer a discount if you wanted to pay just with a check too. So You know, when you and your family make a purchase like this, do you know how you usually pay?
We usually pay with a check.
Pay with a check. Okay. So financing something like this is not of interest per se, so I could include that discount for you?
Correct.
Okay. So just so I know a little bit, you said your son James has allergies.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be of interest to you for me to recommend other solutions that might be able to alleviate those problems he has for that one season a month? Or is
Yeah.
it not too much of a concern?
No, I'd like to see those.
You'd like to see some options. Okay, that sounds terrific. So I have a couple other questions about the home. How do you think the humidity level is in the summer and the winter time?
Well, we currently have a dehumidifier hooked up in the basement. And I know that my husband is happy with the way that that works, keeping the basement dry, free of mold and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I do notice, especially in the wintertime, that it's pretty dry upstairs. We often wake up with like scratchy throats and sore throats. So we would be interested in a humidifier.
Okay, that sounds terrific. I have one other question, and this is kind of a tricky one. What's the favorite temperature at the house? Do you know what it is for summer and winter?
I think it's pretty much 68.
68 degrees. Okay. So just so you know, 68 is a little abnormal for air conditioning, but as long as I know the temperature that I'm designing around, I can meet any request. So
Okay, well, maybe let me clarify that. 68 for winter. And, you know, I can't really think of what we usually keep it at for summer. What's average? What do people usually keep it at during the summer?
well, I think our industry designs around 74 degrees, but I'll be honest with you, I do keep my house 68, but generally 72 to 74 is where I see most people comfortable. Our older customers in like their 70s, I bet they would be comfortable at 76 to 78.
Okay, then I'd probably say between 68 and 72 is probably our range for summer.
Okay, that sounds terrific. Are you on natural gas?
Yes,
Okay. And do you have Wi-Fi in the house?
we do.
Perfect. So we talked about Wi-Fi options, and I just want to let you know that for the day of the installation, our installation technicians, we don't generally have them set the Wi-Fi portion up of the job. We do show you how to make the connection, but we're not interested in knowing customer passwords and things like that for your safety. So we would leave that up to you, and we will leave the book for you to be able to make the connection. You'll download the app on your phone and just go from there.
Okay.
All right. So let's go back to some of the documents that I had contained in the email. And I just wanted to let you know that the first one that we put together was just a little explanation of what we're going to go over today. And it was a step-by-step introducing you to what you'll need today. The tape measure and flashlight. Were you able to put those things together?
I'm gonna have to go find a flashlight real quick, but I've got my tape measure.
Okay, well, let's just hold off for 1 minute before you go look for it. We'll finish some of the other documents. So the next one is that we offer rebates. Did you know that there were rebates available on purchases like this?
Yeah, I think I heard about that.
Okay. Well, I just want to let you know that rebates should not be confused with tax credits, because there are tax credits going on right now too. So the rebates would come from the state and the manufacturer, and the tax credit would be redeemed at year's end when you do your taxes. Okay?
Okay.
So now the tax credit, even though I'm going to tell you what it qualifies for, that's the equipment, not you personally. So there could be a time where I say to you, it's $500, but your accountant says you can only use 400 of it. So I just want to let you know there is a lifetime maximum as well. So it's always good to know that those numbers don't necessarily come off the top of the tax credit. The next thing is the rebates could be received in check or Visa card. There are some changes going on with the state and the manufacturer, and they don't necessarily tell us what you'll be getting. I just want you to know you could get either or, okay? And I don't have any control over it.
Okay.
I do want to make sure you get the dollars that are available though. So those were the two rebate sheets. One was from the state, one was from the manufacturer. For the tax credit, you'll be able to go to lennox.com and download the tax credit certificate for any of the products that I quote you. If you can't find it, I gladly will send it to you as well. So the next three documents. The first one is, you said you had a dehumidifier downstairs. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so what we're going to want to do is this dehumidifier recall safety checklist is going to be something that we're going to want to go over. There have been a lot of problems with dehumidifiers starting fires. And so we're going to want to make sure we look at that dehumidifier you have and make sure that it's not one of those problematic units. Okay? Okay. So that's why I included that. And then I have a cut sheet, which you won't have to print any of these things out. I just wanted you to have copies of them. I'm going to do the filling in of these sheets for us. And the last sheet is a what to expect on installation day form. You know, I think that one of the things that I always say to people is men do two things horribly. Men communicate horribly and men clean up after themselves horribly. And my industry generally is a lot of males. So I say that because our what to expect on installation day form will prepare you and us for what we can both do to make for a great day. And so I also want you to know that we go over cleaning up and communication all the time. And so I want you to promise me that you'll take me up on an offer. And that offer is that if the furnace room and the outside by the air conditioner and where our truck was, if it's not cleaner than when we arrived at your house, I want you to make sure to call me. I want you to call me the day of the installation, and I'll come over that night and I'll clean up anything that may have been missed. You know, I'm not saying it's acceptable, but every once in a while we'll clean up. You know, it's starting to get a little dark in winter time, and maybe the guys might miss something because the wind blew something a little further away than we could see it. I'll gladly come and pick that stuff up. And I just want you to know that I'll be there for you, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Appreciate that.
Will you promise me you'll take me up on that offer?
I will take you up on that.
Okay, perfect. You know, and I don't care if it's a Friday. We do the installation on a Friday. It doesn't matter to me. You can call my cell phone days, nights, weekends, anytime you have a question, okay?
Okay.
All right. You know what I should have done before we started is I should have asked, are we okay on time? Is there any time limitations that you have today?
Not really. Not for the morning, no.
Okay, that sounds terrific. So the next thing that I'd like to do, if you want to, I don't know if you need to take a mini break, if you want to go find the flashlight, or you want to take a drink of water and then come back. I should have asked too, are you on a tablet, a phone, or a computer?
A phone.
You're on a phone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you'll be able to walk around with us?
Sure, yes.
Perfect. And I just have one other question too. You know, with this whole conferencing and everything over the internet, I wanted to make sure, was this easy for you to log on?
It was, but I do have Zoom on my phone. So
oh, you do have Zoom. Okay, so it was a little bit easier for you.
Yeah.
And was that an app you downloaded?
Yes.
Do you use it for school or work or something like that?
Well, we use it for personal and also for the boys' school.
Awesome. Okay. And over the years of you using it, have you experienced any technical challenges or anything that was frustrating about it? Just so I know.
Actually, we just downloaded it about a week and a half ago, so we haven't been using it for too long. But mostly it's just a matter of getting everybody on the conference call up and running with microphones on and, you know, video if needed.
Those are
Okay.
usually the only ones we run into.
All right. So what I like to do, why don't you go find your flashlight and then come back, and then we'll go down. Actually, we'll start at one of the thermostats.
Got it. I'll be right back.
Thank you. All right. So everybody who's watching right now, I just want to let you know I did create a YouTube video of an introduction to me. However, it's publishing itself right now, and I didn't allow 45 minutes to publish it, and then it's going to have to upload to YouTube for another 40 minutes because my computer is slow. So the customer would have received, in addition to all the documents that I sent them, would have received my YouTube video, and I would have already had an introduction to them. So we'll see if I can't do a screen share if it doesn't, if it allows me to. So, no, I paid for it. We should be good. But good call.
So who's all in the room with you? Are you in the conference room or the training room? Where are you?
I'm in the training room. Tracy, Jason, Chuck, Peter, and Jeremy are here.
Oh, okay. Hello, everybody.
All spread out, social distancing.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi, Harper.
All right. Got my flashlight, my tape measure.
Okay, you got your flashlight and you got your tape measure. So here's what I'd like to do if we could. Now again, I did stop by like I told you I was going to earlier, or like our dispatcher did earlier. So that way, I've already got your house size. Your house is 2,800 square feet. Now, you said something unique before. You said something about a thermostat in a room above your garage.
Yeah.
And what is that room above the garage?
It's a bonus room, and the kids just basically use it as a toy and Nerf gun room.
Okay, so it's a bonus room. That's great. You know, what's funny is when I measured your house, I didn't know that there was a room above the garage. So I'm going to make sure that we include that in our measurements today for our heating and cooling loads. You know, one of the things that's most important to me is that we pick the right size of equipment. And so that's why I had to stop by this morning. So, okay, let's do this. Go to your main floor thermostat.
Main
And
floor?
then just flip the phone around so I can see what it looks like.
Yeah, that, because when I flip my phone around, you know, that dog picture is just there, which is like my profile pic.
Yep.
How do I flip the phone within Zoom? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Can you just turn the phone and face the thermostat?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Let's see if that works. No, that is not working.
All right.
So let's see here.
Well, let me ask a couple of questions about it. We can work around a couple of different things. So is it a white thermostat or tan or cream? Tell me what color it is.
It is a white Honeywell thermostat.
Okay. And just curious, is it digital or does it have, you know, like the old school dial on it?
It's digital.
It is digital.
And on the bottom, going across horizontally, there are 3 buttons you can press. And then on the right side, going vertically, there's an up and down arrow and a hold button.
Up and, oh, so there's a, do you use the that must be for programming. Do you use the program?
Not very often. Sometimes we do.
Okay. All right. Okay, so now let's do this. Let's go down by the furnace.
Okay. Hold on for 1 second.
Sure.
Hey, Paul. Yeah. You don't know how to flip this camera around within Zoom so that they can see what I'm seeing there?
Spin.
Oh.
Can you, no, we still can't tell. Can you remove the background image of the dog and just
Yeah.
have it so like, you know, behind me, there's a white wall. Behind everybody else, it's normal.
Yeah.
A normal view.
You gotta talk to Randy about that. I think he put that on there.
I did not.
It says turn
That's-
off custom background is what you should do.
Come here.
Yeah, where is that? Hold on, Randy's gonna help me here. All right. Thanks, Randall. I want to say hi to Bill. Hi.
Oh, how you doing?
Good.
Is that the family?
That's the family.
Terrific.
Morning.
Which is the one with allergies?
This one right here.
All right, bud, we're gonna do some things to help you with those allergies, okay?
All right.
All right.
Go on.
Okay, maybe if you could, now that we got this fixed, could we go to that one thermostat?
Yes.
All right, let's do that. All right, I know exactly the model it is. Hey, and you know what? Looks like we installed that a long time ago. Perfect. Okay, now let's go downstairs to the basement. Bring your tape measure and flashlight.
All righty. Okay, here we are.
All right, would you be able to stand so yep, perfect. So I can see the furnace straight on. All right. So it looks like you've already got a Lennox furnace. And let me just make some notes. While you're showing me some things, I'm gonna be writing some other things down. All right, so it looks like we've got a cased coil. So you know which part is the furnace, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then you know which part is the air purifier?
Yep.
Okay, so when you had said you had a pure air, I am gonna say that we should reuse that. However, one of the things that I am gonna wanna do to make this a little bit more custom is, see the sheet metal on the left-hand side of that air purifier?
Yep.
I'm gonna make sure that that has a curved corner instead of a square corner. And the reason why is because I wanna make sure that that filter is loaded properly. And a square corner doesn't always work the best. So, you know, as time has gone on, we've tried to get better and better with our practices and procedures. And so we'll make sure to do that radius boot, okay?
Okay.
A couple more notes here. Now, if you could do me a favor, could you measure the width of that ductwork that is on the left-hand side? I can't see the tape measure numbers.
Yep. I know. Hold on for a sec. It's going to be 10 inches width.
Okay, now measure the depth of it.
Okay. $24.
24. Okay, now can you measure the width between the furnace and the ductwork that you just measured?
Yep. Let's see here. That is also just about 10.
All right, so I have a question. I saw a service record on your furnace and I saw our name on it. Was the reason why you called us or saw us on Facebook was to, you said, let's see here. Looks like we've been there before. So you saw us on Facebook and we've been at your house before. Did we make the recommendation to replace the furnace?
No, I don't think you guys did.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. My husband handled that. He just told me to call you guys.
Okay. I'm just curious. You know, and I didn't pick up your husband's name. What was it?
Paul?
All right. I want to make sure I include everybody on the estimate. So, okay. Could you pan your camera up so I see a little bit higher? Keep going up. Oh, I see the zone panel. I see the white box above. There you go. So looks like we've got a Lennox zone system. Okay. And then could you even go up higher and to the right? Keep going to the right. Keep going. I see 2 zone dampers. Now, could you keep the camera at that height and walk around the whole entire furnace? Careful you don't trip. Let's just make sure we see all the zone dampers that are involved here.
Let me get a flashlight here. Hold on. It's gonna
Okay.
get dark. All right. So
1, 2, 3. Okay, I see 5 zone dampers. All right, now go back to the front of the furnace. And let's do this. Let's follow those PVC pipes. See those white pipes coming off the top of the furnace?
Yep.
Could you follow those for me? So do you know where those come out of your house, Sarah?
yeah, yes, I do.
And are there like bushes in front of them, or is it by the air conditioner? Where
Not
is it?
No, it's not by the air conditioner. It's on the opposite side of the house.
Okay.
And there are some bushes in front of them.
Okay, I did notice that when I took some pictures this morning, and one of the things I'm going to recommend is we want to make sure that those bushes are trimmed from the PVC pipes, just so things aren't growing into them and obstructing any air that wants to go in and out of them, okay?
Okay.
All right, so next thing is, could you show me the dehumidifier that you were mentioning?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Now that looks like a ducted dehumidifier. So there's a gray sticker on the bottom that has a model number on it. Yep. Could you read me off the model number, what that says?
Sure. That is HCW HD as in dog 3-095.
Okay, that sounds terrific. Now, could you stand back a little bit so I can see how that's ducted? And maybe pan the camera up a little bit following the ductwork? All right.
Well, let's see. I'll finish this side of it here from a different angle.
That looks great.
And now,
Looks great. Okay. Now, let me go through my list here and see if there's anything else I need to do. Okay. Could you go to the back side of the furnace? I know I saw a treadmill, so you don't necessarily have to go all the way back there, but I just want to see something. All right, so you see those black lines right there in the corner? There you go. Could you follow those lines for me? Keep following them. Keep going. Oh, looks like they head over the finished ceiling. Could you go into the rec room and show me the ceiling in the rec room?
sure.
I just want to see what it's made out of. All right, looks like it's a drop ceiling. So the reason why that was important to me is because the refrigerant lines have Freon inside of them. Have you ever heard of that term?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so Freon is something that is how the air conditioner works. It's the magic behind the air conditioner. And we want to make sure that when we replace an air conditioner, that we try our best to replace those lines. Sometimes they're not able to be replaced. And in your situation, because the air conditioner is on the opposite side of the house as the furnace, which you just mentioned to me, I got a feeling that the drop ceiling is probably really tight up to those lines. So we probably will have to flush and reuse them. But we will follow the necessary manufacturer recommendations to make sure that that's appropriate, okay?
Okay.
All right. So the floor drain, do you know where the floor drain is?
I do. It is right in front of the furnace here.
perfect. All right, so that looks good. And so I saw some workout equipment in that room. Just to make sure, is the temperature of the furnace room okay for you, or do you want that something we address today?
Actually, it's a little too warm in here for me when I'm working out. So it'd be nice if we could get it cooler in there.
Okay, we'll make sure to try to survey that. Cooler air in mechanical room. You know, it's with the picture you're showing me right now, I see a register on the ductwork. Do you see it?
I do.
And look up?
It looks like it's closed.
Okay, just curious if that was going to be contributing to your issue or not. So now one last thing I want to mention. If you could stop and turn around.
Yep.
So you see your water heater?
Yes.
So one of the things that in my observation that I'm supposed to take notes down is, do we have adequate combustion air for that water heater in this space? You don't have to necessarily know what I'm referencing, but I wanted you to know that based on the room size that you have, that water heater will be able to operate safely.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, so let's do this. I know that the only thing I didn't have included in my measurements of your home was this bonus room you spoke of.
Mm-hmm.
Would we be able to go up to that bonus room and you just show me what it looks like?
Sure, sounds good.
I know you said it was the Nerf gun playing room, so if it's anything how my kids have things, it's probably very neat and orderly.
Oh boy, you're gonna really see what a mess up there today. Because now they're using it as their fort room.
Oh, it's a fort room, even
Well,
cooler.
well, right now, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right.
So, okay, now that room looks like it's probably about, oh, there's a thermostat up there too. Perfect, awesome. Do me a favor and pan the room again so I can see it. Okay, I'll say probably about 15 by 35. We'll add that to your square footage. Okay, let's see here. I've already got pictures of your air conditioner. I already recorded all the refrigerant line sizes and everything when I was there the first time, so that should be good. The PVC on the outside of the home, we talked about making sure your bushes are trimmed. I'll tell you what, why don't we go sit back down at the table,
Okay.
if that's okay with you.
Sure. Just mind if I bring the shit home?
All right. So with everything that we've gone through and talked about, do you have any questions?
No, I do not have any questions.
Okay. So I have a question for you. So, and I'm just trying to understand things and be respectful to each homeowner. So when you requested a virtual estimate today, could I ask the reason why?
Because we're a little bit worried about coronavirus right now.
Okay. I think that's a great thing. I know that I have some friends in the medical field, and what they're doing is they're just limiting contact with people. They're not eliminating it, you know, and so what I want to let you know is that this was a way for us today to eliminate some of those, you know, of that contact. But the other thing is I want you to know that our installation technicians, when given a project to do where we know the customer is concerned about what you're talking about, we're going to make sure that we protect your home, and we're going to protect both the technician and you from anything like that. So we're going to work at great lengths to make sure we follow our procedures and practices that we put in place to make sure that germs aren't spread. Okay. And I want you to know that if you have any questions on those procedures or policies, I'll be very glad to outline them and go over them with you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So here's what I'd like to do from here on out. I'm gonna put a proposal together for you. Generally, I would do it right now, and I would be able to give it off to you immediately. However, I just got a phone call from an installation that I have to head out to, and I'm gonna go take care of helping them, and I'm gonna come right back to you. Would that be okay with your schedule today?
Sure, that's fine. And then are you gonna call me back to go over it, or are you emailing it to me, or what's
So
going
what
on?
I'm gonna do is I am gonna email you the estimate, and then I'm gonna call you right away, and we're gonna go over it together, okay?
Okay, that sounds good.